Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Gamerspective Wolf Among Us podcast. I'm Joe. Joining me is Amy
Hi everyone.
and Carly.
Hola.
And as of I think 3 or 4 days ago, the Wolf Among Us season 1 came to a close with episode 5, Cry of a Wolf.
Hello everyone,
And
welcome to the Gamerspective Wolf
oh,
Among Us.
Carly, what are you doing?
I didn't do anything.
That would be me. I will
Amy.
apologise. I forget every single time to do this. Sorry.
Always been the foreigner. You always been the foreigner.
That's classic English behavior. So
Yeah.
That's an Amyism.
that's an Amyism.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. Right, where should we start? Should we start straight from episode 1 and just say
Absolutely.
our
Where
experiences?
else are we going to start? We're not going to start at the end.
Well, I mean, we could start with what our thoughts were at the ending.
Oh,
We
I
can
thought-
leave that for when we
why-
actually reach episode 5.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of going for, but yeah.
Okay, well, episode 1 then. Faith.
Oh, that
What
was
did you?
that was
yeah.
a good episode. Very good.
What was your Amy? What was your favorite part about the first episode?
Probably the interactions with Faith. To be honest, like there were a lot of good moments. Yeah, but I loved the interactions with Faith. You could tell straight away, you know, like the way Rick, like I almost called him Rigby then, Big B Wolf, and you could tell he was like kind of a mean, hard, cold, like badass kind of character. And then the way you saw that Faith was with him, saying he's not bad, and it's like, oh, I found it pretty sweet actually, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's like it kind of sets kind of gets the wheels going about you know what kind of character he is and what kind of character he could be.
Oh, it was a great interaction.
It was a great scenes between them, even though there weren't obviously many scenes between them.
No, there are very few scenes between them. Or there are a lot of scenes between them, but you know we'll save that till the end. Like I really liked his interactions but even throughout the entire series, I liked his interactions with the woodsman.
Oh yeah, like because obviously in the fairy tales, you know, they have history, but obviously, you know, now they're actually in the real world. You know, I think there'll always be that kind of tension between them just because of the history. But
yeah,
I think there's a kind of quiet, silent respect for each other though at the same time.
No, yeah, it's like I can't remember where the quote is from, but they're destined to fight till the end of time, and it's just that
Yes.
kind of they're both very aware of that fact, and
It's kind of interesting because they're on opposite parallels. And in the original story, Bigby was the bad guy, and the woodsman was the one that saved the day. But here, they're in opposite direction. Bigby's getting his life together, and the woodsman is not. It's like,
yeah, the
what happened?
is, like falling off the wagon.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic there.
Yeah, I gotta say, I was quite surprised by that. And I thought that was awesome, especially later on in the series when like the woodsman reveals that you know what he did back then in a fairy tale wasn't like for the best of motives. He just happened to be like there because he was, I think, robbing the place. Was that right?
Yes.
He was gonna rob Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, the reason he was there to stop Big B from eating Red Riding Hood was because he was there to rob her, and you know, it just brings those kind of gritty details into what like fairy tales that we're very aware of.
Yeah, what I like the most about this is like, yeah, we think all these fairy tales are pretty sugar-coated and it's all good, but at the end of the day, I like the twist, you know, like, you know, not everything's as beautiful and colourful as we think at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, it's brilliant. I love the feel to it.
I just played through episode 1, most of episode 1, earlier today, and another character that I love the interactions with Big B is Colin, the pig.
Oh, I love Colin.
I thought that was absolutely fantastic.
He's a bit of an asshole, but he's kind of a lovable asshole.
Yeah, but I mean, he's one of the 3 little piggies back in the homeland. Like Big B blew down his house, and Colin's very forthcoming about reminding him that he owes him a house. it's just brilliant the fact that he's staying there in his house and they
They
just
have this patrolic best buds kind of interactions, like
yeah.
they throw insults at each other. That's how they show their friends.
Yeah, and Bigby's keeping him hidden so that he doesn't have to go to the farm.
And
What
our
about
two friends really just insult each other like that. I mean, yeah, it can't be all rainbows and butterflies and
yeah?
stuff.
Oh, absolutely. What about Snow White then? What did you think of Snow White?
Oh, that is.
First impressions of Snow
Oh
White.
God. You could tell there was chemistry between them. It's kind of like watching a relationship on TV, where you'll see these characters are just kind of like sort of stiff but sort of warm to each other, but everyone can clearly see how they feel about one another, like the characters and yourself as a gamer playing it. It's a very interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. They're kind of opposite characters.
Yeah,
Warm. Obviously, as we know, she's warm, but she's also caring and he is caring, but he kind of does it in his old cold, brutal way, I suppose.
he's kind of tough as well though. That's
You can tell they like each other. I mean, I think we already know that Big B's got feelings for her. It's just I think her feelings are a bit more clouded, but we are playing from Big B's perspective, so
oh yeah.
that'll be why we will know more about his side than her side.
So did you play a more sympathetic and kind of empathetic Bigby?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would have moments in the series where I'd be like, yeah, I'm just gonna be a badass and all this. But when it came to Snow, I can kind of see I can see like why he likes her and stuff.
Yeah.
It's really easy to see. It's like, yeah, she's Snow White for God's sake. She's a nice woman. Like they work together. It's I don't know. It's just a really interesting relationship. It's not an easy one to put down.
See, I think I stopped. I think I switched halfway through.
Oh.
Like the way Bigby was behaving. Like I started off very kind of like trying to be soft and gentle and trying to do what's right by Snow, and then I just moved very quickly towards not giving a crap and just doing things your own way because like
She's
otherwise
so naive, though. That's the problem. I can
it's
see
like
that.
being kept on a leash though.
She's so naive, and she doesn't see the big picture sometimes. And it does. I like her as a character, but it does frustrate me with her
Yeah.
sometimes. What did you think of her, Carly?
The Snow White.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, the Wolf with the Wolf Among Us. I knew what the story's gonna end because it's a prequel to the Fable comics, which I kind of already read. So I know how the characters are going to behave in the future. I really like Snow White.
Yeah.
And I like Snow White in the Fable comics, and I like her here where they show how her personality, why she's the way she is in the comics. She's Bigby has feelings for her, but she doesn't yet for him that way.
Yeah, I feel like those feelings, like she definitely didn't have strong feelings towards him during the entire series.
I think
It's mostly because of things that have happened with her in the past. Her relationship with Prince Charming, what happened to her with the Seven Dwarfs.
Yeah, she
But
must be.
no, nothing, none of that really comes up in the
I think you can always see that, like in the little the book of fables that you collect. I think that's the way you find out.
So that has her like, and what happened with her sister, that has her close off to emotional
She
attachments
doesn't
and
wear
stuff
her
like that.
heart on her sleeve. I know that much.
She doesn't what?
She doesn't wear her heart on her sleeve.
And not anymore. Not after everything that happened to her.
Oh yeah, she's very guarded, and I can understand that as a character. She frustrates me, but there are certain elements to her character that I do understand.
she
never frustrated me when I understood why she was behaving the way she was and all that stuff, and I was fine with it.
I like the idea of the relationship to begin with, but I just quickly moving towards like, Big B just being his own person. Like his job is to be the sheriff, and that's what he's gonna do, and he's gonna do anything to make sure he does that job properly.
Like,
And
let's be fair here. You do enjoy being a dick when you're playing video games.
Oh, he's
Like, sure.
Absolutely.
the perfect dick. That's the thing. He's a dick,
a
but
lovable.
everyone already knows that. It's not like you're forging relationships with people and then like, coming across as an arsehole. Everyone already, when you start the game, everyone already thinks he's an arsehole. So why not play up to that? Everyone is already afraid of him.
No, but I think why not show them differently?
Why not show him differently? Well, there's always the option to show him differently, but
But his character mostly remains the same, I suppose.
Well, some of his actions are gonna remain the same because he does have that side to him that's not gonna change independently of if you play it as a dick or if you play it more nicer and sympathetic. But the difference is you can't break what people in the town think about him. That he's still that bad guy from the fairy tales. That he know he's different now. That he's a nicer person. Or you can live up to what they say.
yeah. Well,
And I prefer not to do that.
Or you can make the assumption that people's opinions can't be changed, and you might as well use what you've got.
Yeah.
Because it's different. I don't want to do that. I want to break those.
Well, that's the beauty of the game. You can be
Exactly.
what you want to be. But I think
Exactly.
that's what I enjoyed. That's what I enjoyed the most. I think is just playing up to his own personal strengths, playing up to what people expect from him, and using that to get the job done.
Exactly.
What do you guys think about the other characters that were introduced in the episode?
There was Toad.
Oh, I love Toad. I love
Toad
his
and TJ.
actor. He's got an amazing accent. Can't speak. Sorry.
Yeah, very.
And Junior is voiced by a very special person.
Junior's voiced by a girl.
Yeah.
And did you know who that girl voices?
No, didn't recognize.
Well, not you, but Amy
Was it
should.
Clementine?
Yeah, that is the voice
Yeah,
actor.
I knew it. I didn't look it up, but I kind of like kept thinking every time he came on screen, I was like, I'm sure that's the voice of Clementine.
That's Clementine from the Walking Dead.
Oh,
It's definitely very feminine, and it was extremely youthful. Like even in the voice actors playing children in a lot of games, you don't get a voice that youthful.
oh yeah.
Came
It's-
across so
That's fine.
sweet and innocent.
If you play The Walking Dead, man, you would be 5 minutes into the game completely in love with that voice and that girl.
You will.
It's that kind of situation. You could be the hardest person ever, and you start hearing that voice and seeing that little girl, and it melts you completely.
I compromised with you, and I played The Wolf Among Us, so now you should compromise with us and play The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I might well do that as soon as I finish playing the Wolf Among Us like the second time. But yeah.
Or 20 or 30 times.
Yeah, or 20 or 30 times, as much as I need, really. Okay, so then let's move on to the second episode.
Well, no, there's still a few characters from the first episode that got introduced or appear in important part later that you haven't mentioned.
Okay, well then there's Dumb and D, first of all.
Oh god.
How do we feel about Dumb and D?
Well, I think Abby kind of made it obvious just now.
Oh god, seriously, I just hated them. They were just there at the end of the day. I just wanted to slap them every time they came.
There was nothing to like about Tweedledum.
No, I don't really think there was. No.
Ichabod Crane.
Oh, he's an interesting one.
Very interesting character.
He's a dirty sod.
Although in the first episode, just an arse, really. It only comes across as an arse.
He does. He's such an asshole. I just want to slap him every time he would tell Snow off. It's like, for God's sake, she's trying her best here. Do you have to be so horrible?
He's just. I mean, you can see he's under a lot of stress, and he's only acting meta. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we never saw the actual mayor, did we?
No, old King Cole never came back. So
shame.
Maybe that was a plot. Who knows? I mean, there's always It's always series 2 of the Wolf Among Us. That could always.
Hopefully. Well, yeah, I don't see any reason why it shouldn't
I
be.
think it's pretty much confirmed there's going to be a series 2. I don't see them not doing it.
We will have another year, maybe 2 years if we're lucky to wait.
Okay. Then there's one of my favorite characters, Buffkin.
Oh, Buffkin. Oh, I gotta love Buffkin.
You gotta love Buffkin.
It's a travesty, really, because I don't think he was in it as much as I would have liked him to be in.
Well, I mean, he was in it more than he needed to be in it, I think. Like, his role was so small. He wasn't really a resident of Fabletown so much as the others. He just kind of tended the office.
Mm.
Beauty and the Beast?
Interesting characters.
There's one. Okay, in your first decision, did you keep Beauty's secret or not?
I kept it.
You kept
Because
secret.
I just love to keep secrets and get dirt on people. No, but I honestly thought, like, yeah, Big B would just keep a secret. He does. I get the feeling he doesn't like to get involved in people's shit.
Yeah, he wouldn't. I don't think he would
Gone and blabbed.
care enough to go and tell him. Yeah, that's why I kept it. I didn't tell her I would keep her secret. I just never told Beast.
It's like a silent agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what we're sticking with.
It's really interesting because you see basically all these fairy tale couples, once they're in Fabletown, their relationships never work except for Beauty and the Beast. They stuck together through everything.
Yeah. They're an interesting one. I thought they just got more and more interesting as the series went on, which I quite liked. I wasn't really all that interested in the first episode, but they definitely grew on me.
The Prince Lawrence.
Prince Lawrence.
Oh,
I feel like I really liked Prince Lawrence. I feel like I was really upset he didn't have a bigger role later on in the story.
it's a shame because I never got to save him. I
didn't you?
I didn't realize I could try to save it. I think it's because I went to Toad's place first before going to his, which
Oh yeah.
I realized now it was a grave mistake. But I got to hear his dying words though.
Yeah. No, I went to his place and he looked very much dead, because he had just tried to kill himself, but he came back too, and I hid in the closet and jumped on a Tweedle, I think D, as soon as he came through the door.
Yeah, same
Chased
here.
him down the street. So, but yeah, no, Lawrence saved his life. He showed up a couple of times throughout the series, but never really did anything important. Like, he was there in episode, I want to say 4, well, maybe 4.
Yeah, I think he does show up again. Like I obviously personally experienced it, but I think he does show up in a future episode again.
Yeah, he shows up in 3 or 4, and then again right at the end. But again, nothing he does it doesn't really have a big effect on the story.
Yeah, I can see why, because obviously he can die.
I was very excited when I got to the end of episode 1, the first time around, and you showed the stats, and it was like you and 17% of people saved Prince Lawrence, and I was like, yes, I'm in the minority.
I'm not. He's like, yay! I'm not a dick for not saving him.
Yeah.
That would be me.
I did something most people didn't do.
But we're not aware they should have done.
Yes, exactly. That was,
Question. How did you guys felt about the big twist at the end with Snow White supposed dead, and did you think she was actually in fact dead?
Oh yeah, I totally thought she was.
I fell for that. I really fell for it.
There was no reason not to fall for that.
Because I could kind of see, with the clues coming up, you could kind of see that it was coming when it did happen. It was a shock, but I could.
It was just, it's the story. It's, as soon as that happens, the story is basically telling you, there's a serial killer. It's not just one.
Yeah.
It's 2, and I think it was, the fact that she was alive was the twist. Her dying was not the twist. Her being alive was the twist.
I was so.
Unless you're a fan of the Fable comics.
Unless you're a fan of the Fable comics and you already know the story, yeah.
Exactly. But we didn't.
But people, people
but
playing
they did a great job with it.
people playing this game for the first time, yeah, no, that wasn't. You were supposed to assume she was dead, absolutely. And I think that was done really well because that definitely lended towards giving you a higher investment in the story. Because Faith, you really care a lot about Faith the first time you meet her,
Oh
but
yeah.
with Snow White, you've spent most of the episode with her, around her, you realizing that the relationship, the kind of half relationship Big B and her have. So when you see her dead at the end of the episode, it's a big deal.
Oh, it is such a big deal.
It's a
So, decisions. Did you give Faith your money?
The first time around, yeah,
Yep, I did.
yeah.
And the second time around?
Massively regretted it a little bit later on when I can't remember why I needed money, but I know I needed money and I didn't have it and I was really upset. I was like, damn it, these parents should just...
I still would have given her the money. It's one of those things where, yeah, take the money, take all of it.
Well, I just on my second playthrough, I kept the money to myself, and I'm gonna spend that well later on. It's not gonna go to waste at all, and I'm gonna steal all the money I can throughout the game, just in case I do that as well.
Very nice, Joe. Very nice. Not a great example for the kids, but very nice.
Well, it's take what you can get.
Take what you can, leave nothing. How is it the Jack Sparrow says it? Take what you can. Never mind. So you guys already said what you did with telling Biz the truth about beauty or not. So where did you decide to go first? Amy already said her choice, and you already said yours.
Yeah.
What happened to Prince Lawrence? Did you not prevent Prince Lawrence's death? Did you prevent Prince Lawrence's death? Did he die by your own hand?
No, he lived.
He lived.
He
Who
lived.
was your
By his own hand.
who is your prime suspect? Tweedledee and Tweedledum, Woodsman, Georgie, Prince Lawrence, Bluebeard.
My prime suspect the first time playing the game, because the second time doesn't matter because you
already know.
you've got some information, but the first time was the pimp.
Georgie.
Well,
And
you don't know his name's Georgie. Then you just know he's the pimp.
My suspect was the woodsman.
And Joe wouldn't know the first time that he was actually right.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, well done.
I realized that when I was making the decision today, I was like, well, I'm gonna click the pimp because I already know it's the pimp. And I went, wait, this is what I did last time because the same dialogue option came up, and I was like, wait, I've read this before. And, it was because she was so desperate to get the money, and I just thought, well, the pimp. That's why she gets the money.
So you would make a good detective then.
I would make a brilliant detective. No, I would make a terrible one. I'd steal everyone's money and beat them up. I mean,
well, as long as you solve the mystery.
as long as they solve the mystery. If that was how detectives worked, and they could do what they want as long as they solve the mystery, then yeah, I'd make it.
I think I'll join you. We could be partners.
No, you're too soft.
Instead of a buddy cop show, we have a buddy detective show.
Yes. Anyway, next decision.
Who did you arrest? Tweedledee or the Woodsman?
D. I chased after D.
Woodsman. I don't know. I just always had since the bar, I had a very, very tingling suspicion about him, and I was pretty sad because I realized later down the line, whoops, arrested the wrong person.
Her spidey senses were tingling incorrectly.
I don't know why, but from the very beginning, probably just because at the beginning you see them fighting, I just thought there's no way he could have done it. And
because it would have been too obvious.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I definitely thought that Tweedledee didn't do it, but he'd just beaten me up. So so I chased after him. I didn't even want to arrest him. I just wanted to beat him up.
But if you beat me up, you get arrested. So
I liked your motivations for doing stuff. Well, he beat me up, so that's what I'm not gonna arrest.
Well, screw him.
So, final thoughts on the whole episode.
Um, yeah, no, I loved the final episode. I loved the cliffhanger it was left on. Um, I love the introduction of characters. I mean, the first character you really meet other than Bigby is Toad, and Toad's just a glorious bastard, like all the way through. And he completely shows. I realized this today. He completely sets the tone. Toad alone sets the tone of the entire thing because he's a talking frog, and he's saying "fuck you," "fuck this," "fuck that," and you just—that's it. That's
Yeah.
everything about the series that you need to know.
And it's that accent for me as well.
Yeah,
It's
and
a
the
great,
accent.
it's a great opening, brilliant cliffhanger.
So they definitely picked the right character to introduce first. I will say that.
Yes.
What about you, Kylie?
It was a great first episode. That's the kind of thing I'm used to with Telltale. They do a great job with the first episode to set the characters and the story about how their 5 episodes are going to be. And again, even as someone who knows how the Fable comics, I knew that Snow White was obviously not dead. I still think it was a great thing they did with ending the cliffhanger. It was like, oh, like it just changes the way because she just left to go home, and then boom, you find what's supposed to be her severe head there, and it's just a great way to end the episode. And Telltale is so good at doing things like that.
Your heart out just seeing Snow White's head.
Absolutely.
Because even she's not dead, it gets to you. It's emotional. You realize how invested now you're in with the.
Say, like, even if you know, it's like, well, some of us didn't know, and some of us probably had our heart ripped out 100 times more because of that.
Yeah.
The point is that that's the point where you realize that now you really gotten invested into this game.
Yeah,
It's like, damn
the
it,
characters.
damn it, Telltale, you've done it again. Why are you pulling at our heartstrings?
Yeah, like when Snow and Faith dying in the same episode, it's like, what is this, Game of Thrones?
What is this? Why did I pick this game up?
Remember, they will be making a Game of Thrones game, so get ready for that. You have already Game of Thrones that's so good at ripping your heart, plus Telltale, who's equally good at that, and you mix those two together. Wow, there's gonna be a lot of tears.
Absolutely.
Well, let's get back to the game that we're actually playing.
So moving on to Smoke and Mirrors, episode 2.
I like the name of the episode, Smoke and Mirrors. Sounds like the name of a really cool movie.
Yeah, I mean,
Or a really
I
cool song.
think I love, apart from the first one, Faith, which not a lot of thought put into that one, but I love the title of all of the episodes.
Oh,
In fact, there's something I really, really liked, and I'm just grabbing it for you now, is the achievements, or trophies if you're playing PS3, achievements if you're on Steam or Xbox, for episode 4. And there's 5 chapters in every episode.
I know what you're getting at. Go on.
And I love the achievements for completing chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
Were all named in such a way that actually, like, I don't know. It told a poem. It told a fairy tale kind of sentence thing. Like the first achievement is once upon a time, then there was a wolf who ruled the land. He was much feared, but soon he mended his evil ways. I love that. I just love seeing them pop up during the game.
That was very creative. I have to admit, that's really nice.
Even just the names of the achievements are great. But yeah, that's why I was so excited for episode 5 as well, because it was called Cry Wolf, and I was just like, oh god, this is gonna be something.
The feels, man, the feels.
Feels are real.
Oh, the feels.
It's
Like Aaron Flynn.
Feels are guaranteed with Telltale.
So the start of episode 2, very, very close to the beginning actually, you find out that Snow's alive. Like, they don't let that sit very long.
Like, Jesus, it's like, she's alive! Like, oh my god, she's alive, she's alive. I was so relieved about that.
Well, as soon as I saw she was alive...
They want to pull you into an emotional roller coaster. Like, no, she's dead. No, she's not dead.
As soon as I saw she was alive, I was like, wait, does that mean Faith's alive as well? Is this all a big trick?
Oh, yeah, that's a conspiracy.
I was like, wait, no, it's just Snow that's still alive. Damn it. So it starts with you're You're
Being
interrogating,
questioned.
aren't you?
Yes, by Kelsey Brannigan. No thoughts on that character?
Oh yeah, no, that's the human, the Monday detective, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I meant like the first big thing that really happens is the interrogation between Bigby, Bluebeard, Crane, and whoever it is that you stole at the end, which
Dear
is either
Woody.
Tweedledee or the Woodsman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Amy, you chased after
The
the Woodsman.
Woodsman.
Yeah, I chose Woody.
So how did you handle the interrogation?
Oh, I kind of have a little guilty pleasure for Blackbeard's method, so I just kind of let him beat the shit out of him until Snow came.
And we're so surprised that you enjoy seeing that.
Yeah, what can I say? It kind of made me trigger happy, just like a lot of things.
I think I was kind of harsh in the interrogation, given that Snow White just.
Also surprising.
But I mean, if you're too nice, then Bluebeard just punches him. So like, you can't really win.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's like
You gotta stay in the line. Not too nice, not too bad.
Well, that's you. One of you's got to be the good cop. One of you's got to be the bad cop. So yeah, then Snow obviously walks in. Just after
it's
that.
like, I'm not dead. How dare you?
Dun dun dun. The credits roll. Except the opening credits.
That was a great opening moment, though. It was brilliant.
Yeah, and then you talk to TJ, don't you?
Oh,
Because-
poor TJ.
Oh, poor TJ.
Feel so sorry for him at this point because he finds a body while he's swimming and it's awful.
Yeah,
Like, poor kid.
yeah.
See what I mean about Clementine's voice actress?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can stop saying that now.
So yeah, no, you find out the body, and then the glamour wears off, doesn't it, on the body?
Yeah.
And it turns out to be what's her name? Lily.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's with Lily. Obviously, it triggers it. I think at this point, it really triggers the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot of people like connected to Lily at this point.
Yeah, Lily was a big one. It really the lines kind of spread out a lot after that. So when you go to the bar to talk to Holly,
The
you
pudding
can
and pie.
I love Holly. She's a great character.
no, you go to the bar first.
The
Yeah.
pudding and pie.
No, you go to the bar, the Trip Trap.
Oh yeah, the other one.
Yeah,
The one that's the one where Beauty works in.
Yeah. So, well, no, Holly. Where Holly
Yeah,
works.
Holly. It's Holly. He works at the Trip and Trap.
So you go to the bar. I think you get the option of either taking Snow White with you or not. What did you do?
I didn't take her. I went myself because I didn't want her to get stuck in a place like that.
I think I took her.
You horrid woman! You think she was dead, and then it's a good idea to bring her with you to a place like that. How could you?
It's
She's
a
not
bar.
a child. She's a grown as a woman.
Naive
Exactly.
though. She's a stupid, naive woman at
Yeah,
times.
but
She's not a
you-
stupid, naive woman.
you've got to
Yeah.
break the news to Holly. Who's going to do that better, Snow or Bigby? Considering in
Exactly.
the previous episode you just fought Holly.
I just no. I didn't do it. I wanted to protect Snow.
Oh, this is bullshit.
No, really isn't.
What do you want to protect? She's a grown-ass woman. She's not as naive as she looks like. She's been through a lot of shit before the events of the game even took place. So that's really nothing for her.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
I didn't want to bring her to the low lives there.
But no, I feel like it was important to take her along because the last time you go to the Trip Trap in episode 1, you end up fighting Gren and Holly, and it just doesn't go over well at all. And then if you're going there to tell Holly that her sister's dead and just been found, you don't want Bigby to just walk in there on his own. You want if Snow's gonna break. If Bigby walks in, they're gonna fucking beat him up again. It's just,
Oh, okay.
it's just like if Snow walks in, they're not exactly gonna attack her.
Bigby's the last person you should have to break people's like your family members dead. That's
Yeah,
that's not the person you want to do that.
like, yeah, your sister's dead. Like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Exactly, precisely. It's
I-
like you don't want the person you hate the most, not that they hate Bigby the most, but they just don't like him, to come in and say, by the way, your sister's dead. That sucks.
Yeah, there was a scrap, but she eventually calmed down though. So.
Yeah, well, Snow calmed her down a lot. I took Snow in there, I let Snow tell her, and I didn't say
If
anything.
I do another playthrough on the Vita, which I hope it will come out for the Vita soon, now it's finished,
Yeah.
I'll probably do opposite. I'll do opposites again, just like I have done for The Walking Dead.
Yeah. No, I stayed. You had the option to say like stuff at almost everything, and I just stayed quiet the whole time, and it went over really well. But
It's like, nope, back it off.
it's just like, no, so you've got this. I will
Yeah,
just
yeah.
stand here as moral support.
And
So then there is the pudding and pie, and one of your favourite characters, Joe.
Well, hold on, before that, there's you meet another character there.
Oh,
Trip Trap.
yes. Yeah.
You meet Jack.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for God's sake, can we just throw him out already? He's a right sod.
We ended up getting Jack kicked out.
Yeah, did you kick him out?
Yeah. We ended up getting Holly to kick him out.
Oh, I'm totally with you there.
Yeah. So Jack is just
He's a small,
Jack's the mouthy, smarmy git.
he's a smug little git. Oh
He is.
my God, he's like, yeah. Every time I see him, he wears that same sad, happy expression, but then sad when he sees Bigby coming over. It's just like, yeah, you better run.
Yeah, no, it was that was funny. I thought that was
Oh,
cool.
it's brilliant.
Yeah, no, Jack's just one of those characters. That's just always got something to say, and you just like, oh, piss off, Jack. In every situation, doesn't matter where it is, just Jack, piss off. So after that, that's when you go to the pudding pie, because you've just found out that
Yeah, that
Lily was a prostitute, and also obviously Faith was. So, and then you meet Vivian for the first time, and you meet Georgie and Narissa for the first time.
Oh, Georgie's accent, I love it. It sounds so much like some accents up here, but obviously a lot better than the accents I hear.
Something that's interesting in the preview from episode 1 for episode 2, Georgie's accent and voice is completely different.
Oh.
They've got a different. They have a different voice actor for him in
I
the
didn't
next
see
time
it.
in the Wolf Among Us.
I didn't see that because obviously when I first started the game, the first 2 episodes were available, so I kind of played them back to back.
Ah, right. Yeah. No, I did that as well. I played them back to back, but I'd still watch the next time kind of thing.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
different. I don't know what happened there, but the one they settled for is definitely better.
Probably a last minute change, but it's probably a change for the better, I suppose.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I think it worked out for him better. I think it suits his image as well.
yeah. Oh,
As a
absolutely.
kind of guy.
You start questioning Georgie. How did you handle that?
Oh God, where do we even start?
So you have the option to destroy a lot of what is in there. Like you're kind of threatening him, and you can punch him, or you can destroy his stuff.
Oh, I destroyed his stuff. That was it. I destroyed his stuff. I was just like, no, I'm not taking any bullshit. I'll destroy your stuff.
I went the complete opposite way.
It would be in Bigby's character to do that. He's not in the fucking mood for games at the end of the day.
It would. No, this next time I do it, I'm absolutely destroying everything. But the way I did it the first time round was I just kind of like glared at him, like looked at his stuff menacingly, and then like backed him into a corner.
I tried the glaring thing at first. I thought, right, let's stare him out, let's spook him. And then after about the second time, I was just like, right, come on, let's just destroy his shit.
Nah, I stared him out. all the
I
way.
would think the glaring is probably more effective considering who Bixby is.
Yeah, but he just kind of looks like the kind of guy who won't get spooked very easily.
That's what I was starting to think halfway through glaring. I was just like, oh, maybe he's not the kind of character that's gonna get like, threatened and scared. But I was like, well, I've committed now, so I have to continue doing it.
There's no turning back now.
Got more restraint than I do.
but it's Bixby. And if an evil glare is gonna work from someone, it's gonna be Bixby.
Yeah, but on Georgie, Georgie's a questionable one.
He is. He really, really is.
Georgie's a great character. Love Georgie. Absolutely fantastic.
It's like he's a fantastic character. He's flawed, but obviously that's what makes him such a good character.
Everyone's flawed.
Obviously, we don't see the flaws until like right near the very end. But
Yeah.
I think the flaws are obviously timed very well because it seems like he's perfect. He's a pimp and he's got all these prozzies and he's making money and he's like, yeah, you've got
He's a
perfect
dickhead.
So yeah, then obviously once you've questioned him, you've what is it now?
You can go straight to the apartment, can't you?
Yeah, 207.
Yeah, that's right. And
Well, that was a disturbing scene. But before that, obviously we see Easton Bell.
And your decision from before plays into
Yeah.
now.
Oh god, that was just brilliant because Beast was beating the shit out of me. He thought Bigby was having an affair with Beauty. And
oh yeah, same thing.
I love that climax of the scene because obviously it ends up where you do end up crashing through 207 and witnessing the scene.
Yeah.
It was just like,
I was just like, Jesus Christ.
like flowers and blood all over the
While I was fighting Beast, I was going really easy. Like when it gave me the option to like while he was down hit him, I just didn't take it.
For God's sake, I beat the shit out of him.
No, I was just like, I'm not gonna kill the guy because I
wasn't gonna kill him. I was just gonna.
Yeah, I know, but there was a few options where like he was clearly already down, and you had the option to hit him with something else, and I was just like, I'm not doing that. That's mean. Maybe I will next time.
You're just too soft, I swear to God. No, I beat the shit out of him. I'm just like,
that's the thing is, like,
I'm sorry, but he was going to attack me. He was attacking me. I'm just like, well, I'm not going to stand there and take the fucking hit. I will defend myself.
well, with the assholes, absolutely, I'll go crazy. But like with Beast's such a nice guy.
Yeah, well, he's not nice when he's beating the shit out of you, is he? No. So.
Fine. And then you find the scene as you go through the door.
Oh, I felt really sick in my stomach when I actually saw that.
Yeah, that was creepy.
I was just like, whoa.
That was so incredibly creepy.
Because you realise, obviously it's where Holly's sister Lily died at the end of the day.
Yep.
And then we discover someone's obsession with Snow White, and then it just gets really creepy from then.
So, did we ever find out how Lily died and why she died there?
I don't know. I had my own theories about it.
Because we kind of get the idea of why she had to die, but there of all places seemed a bit
yeah,
flat.
it seems too, I don't know, obvious.
It's a weird one.
It doesn't obviously it doesn't take away from the fact that it's a brilliant setting where she died. But...
Oh, absolutely, and it was just full of creepiness. Carly, what did you think of it?
Well, before, with the first episode and most of the second episode, you haven't gotten that extremely creepiness that you get from that scene. That's really the story starts to pick up, and the tone of the episodes going forward is going to change. Because you weren't expecting to see something like that.
No, yeah, absolutely. And then you realize it was Crane, and
that's when I just got these really, really horrible images in my head. I'm just like, he's obsessed with her.
Yeah.
What the hell? Like, you wouldn't think he would be, but he is. I'm just like, oh my God, you dirty.
It's just such a creepy ending to that episode.
Yeah, I just could not get over that, and I was absolutely screaming for the next episode as soon as I finished.
I'm not actually sure, but doesn't the third episode like open with "I'm gonna kill him"? I'm fairly sure it does.
Yes, it does. And I think at that point, obviously, with the third episode, we're gonna talk about the third episode shortly, but we need to. But yeah, I think that obviously it starts to demonstrate how strongly Bigby feels about Snow at the end of the day. Whatever as a romantic partner, a friend, it shows like he cares.
I mean, you can view it from another like standpoint as well, because by this point Bigby thinks that he's killed 2 girls.
Yeah. Oh, so the decisions. What did you do, Joe? Responding to Crane about Snow's death. What did you do?
Well, responding to Crane about Snow's death, I'm trying to remember that one actually.
I accused him of not caring, to be honest, because I thought he was a bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the minority there, but
I think no, I think that's what I did actually. I think that's what I said. Yeah, no, that was a weird one as well. Like, especially like he casts a spell, doesn't he? And it's like you have this kind of soft moment with Crane, and you're kind of like, oh, maybe he's not the biggest dickhead in the world. And then obviously that doesn't last very long.
And then you think, well, he is a dick from what you've seen.
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't care. Fuck off.
Nope, he can die. I'm quite happy for him to die.
So, how did you treat the murder suspect?
How did I treat the murder suspect? I was very, very, very punchy with the murder suspect.
I mean, like, did you persuade him?
Punchy.
I forced him to talk, absolutely.
Well, obviously it was very punchy, but I did eventually persuade him to talk.
Yeah.
So,
what was the next one? It was.
Did you let Snow come with you to the
we've already covered that one, haven't we?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I allow me.
And why Amy is wrong.
Okay, so Georgie Podgy.
Didn't hit Georgie.
I hit him.
You hit him.
Yeah, I did. I loved it.
You know she's gonna hit people every time you get the option.
No,
And then the last one, obviously, is about Beast when he was down.
No, I didn't punch him a second time.
Yes, I did, and I feel very
guilty. See what I mean?
It's like this is like the questions are: did you punch? Amy's already ticked yes.
it hasn't even finished to come up, but she's already like getting the shit out of someone.
She's already seen punch.
We're on to the third episode now.
Who else was? Well, one character that we didn't really discuss was Bluebeard appeared in this.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
What did you think of Bluebeard?
I would point out also that his voice by the voice actor the voice Lee in season 1 of The Walking Dead.
It is indeed.
Interesting.
It's very interesting considering he plays obviously a very hard but very caring character. In this, he's just hard, but he doesn't care. I don't know. I found him interesting, his methods and stuff. I think he's the kind of character like at the end of the day, he doesn't have these emotional attachments and he just gets the job done.
Mm.
Which, to be honest, you kind of need that kind of person.
Yeah, I think at the beginning he was a suspect. You could name him as a suspect.
Because he used to be a serial killer.
His backstory is a serial killer who used to chop the heads off his victims.
But that would be too obvious.
But again, that was an obvious one. It was like, well, it's probably not him. But he was, yeah, I feel like as the story went on, he just became more and more necessary. You needed someone like him, like someone who was, in charge, because Bigby's not really in charge. He's the sheriff. Snow's in charge, or Crane's in charge. Bluebeard is a person who's in charge, who is making the tough decisions, the hard decisions that he's not soft. And I feel like he was a really required role.
Yes.
Even if he did argue a lot.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So yeah, no, I think Bluebeard grew on me a little bit.
Yeah, it's a beard, of course it's gonna grow.
You are so funny.
I know, right?
Okay, so moving on to the next episode, Crooked Mile.
It's probably one of my favorites so far because it's halfway through.
Yeah.
This is probably my favorites.
It opens with obviously you're looking for Crane.
Oh yeah, I was like, I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah.
I was like, well, you're not the only one. We all want to kill him.
Yeah, everyone wanted to kill him.
Episode 3 with Telltale Games now has this reputation of being like episode 9 in Game of Thrones. It's like this is the episode where big things are gonna happen.
Absolutely.
So you get the option of going up and oh, wait, no, where does it start? There's a isn't this when the funeral is?
Yeah, like the memorial, I think.
Yeah, for Lily.
For Lily, and there's like, you know, obviously there's a lot of familiar faces there who we've already met. Probably most of them would hate you.
Prince Lawrence was there.
He wasn't there for me.
Well, he was there for everyone that kept him alive.
Well,
Yeah, well, thank you for telling me that. I feel like, thank you for reminding me. I still feel like a dick about that.
He was there. He kind of came for Faith. Yeah, so you can have a bit of a conversation with him while he's there. Again, doesn't really say much, but he does say thank you for saving his life.
Yeah, I got that conversation too.
You have the option of butting into Snow's eulogy. Did
I
you?
absolutely did not interrupt it.
No, I didn't. I don't think I did.
even the big need to be dicks for you guys, you still can't do stuff like that.
Yeah, well, it's a touching urology. I mean, it's pretty rude to interrupt any kind of urology, I suppose.
Even video game dicks have a heart.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
it wouldn't be. I don't think it'd be in his character to interrupt it, but that's just my interpretation.
But it would be in your character, like punch beats and stuff like that.
Yes, yeah, there you go.
Poor Beast. Poor Beast is at your mercy.
Yeah.
So after that, you have the option of going to 3 places to investigate / find out more about what's going on. You can go to the Trip Trap. You can go to Crane's apartment. You can go to the Tweedle's office. Where'd you go?
Tweedle's office.
Did you really?
Hmm.
I went there last.
Because at this point, obviously, I was beating up, you know, one of the brothers in the last episode. And now at this point, now I feel guilty. I'm like,
Like
oh, I
Batman's like, where is
don't
he?
think he has anything to do with it. I was like, bloody hell, it's those brothers. Right, I'm going to go over there. If I'll go over there, then I will go to Crane's apartment and then the Trip Trap. That's
Yeah.
the order I went in.
I think I went to Crane's apartment first, then the Trip Trap, then the Tweedle's office. Didn't find anything at the Tweedle's office, apart from Flycatcher.
Oh, yeah, Flycatcher. I offered him a job.
Yeah, I think everyone in the world offered him a job.
96.3% offered him a job. Like,
You can't not offer him a job. Why would you?
3.7% per people who did not offer him a job. You're all dicks, and you should feel sorry for yourselves right now. You are horrible. You're heartless.
You're heartless.
You're
So
heartless.
did you run into Jack at Crane's apartment?
Absolutely, and I did not make a deal with him because he's a dick.
I believe I made a deal with him.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
Wait, actually, I think couldn't you make the decision to make a deal with him and then drop him in it with Snow?
Oh yeah, did you
I
do
think
that?
I did that. Yeah, that was. I did make the deal, but I think
No,
I
I
dropped.
made a deal with him and then I covered for him from Snow.
I dropped it in with him with Snow. I was just like, yep, nope, not gonna.
No, so he has the bag of the glamours, doesn't he?
Indeed, he does.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh, no, I'll make a deal, then I'll drop you in it.
It's
Because
like, what
because I'm a
were they doing there?
It's like, yeah, what are they doing there? Like, yeah, you just happened to find them. Yeah, sure you did.
Definitely. Also, just a fun fact, if you didn't pick up on it already at any point, the bag that Jack has in that scene with the glamours in it is the same bag Narissa has at the very, very, very end.
Oh, you know what? I did not.
I thought it looked familiar, so I had to look it up, and then, yeah. So I was like, that's something.
Could be a plot point for season 2.
I think it's a massive plot point, and it lends to one of my theories, and I'll go into that later when we get to the ending.
Absolutely, I'm really interested to hear everyone's theories. I haven't really come up with a solid theory myself, but I've got a few ideas about.
I've got a pretty strong one, and I'm quite happy.
I know what you're talking about, but we'll get to that later.
I'll probably agree with what Joe's going to say. I think he might be thinking the same as I am, but
Well, no, I have one I have my first theory, and then I have a second theory that's slowly developing, which
Okay.
is a bit different to what I think most people are thinking. But we'll
So,
move on.
yeah, moving on.
Those glamours. Oh well, you actually
Oh, the glamours.
don't you talk to? Yeah, you talk to drunk, passed out Holly. Sorry.
Oh,
And also very drunk Gren.
I feel so sorry for Holly. And then Gren, I think Gren was like my best friend when we were.
So what did you? Who is in there? It was the woodsman, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Have this kind of argument with the woodsman, and like you can either kick the woodsman out or kick Gren out, or not get involved. Like, what did you do there?
Can't remember to be honest.
You can side with one of them, and they're having a bit of a fight.
I think I may have sat. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, it's come back to me now. I actually sided with Gren because I was just disgusted with what Woody did.
Yeah, I sided with Gren, kicked the woodsman out, and then had like a
I
heart to heart with Gren. But like it was funny because right at the end of it, because he was so drunk and he passed out, like that little thing pops up in the left corner. And it said, "Gren will not remember this."
I was just like, well.
I loved it. I was just like, ah, we became friends.
Oh, friends. Buddy friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I like
chat,
Gren. I love Gren.
that chat with Holly was just very sad. I was just like, oh, bless her. She's
Yeah.
all doped up on whatever she was on.
Yeah. Doped up, doesn't realize it's him, and yeah, it was very. That was a soft moment.
She exposes. She's exposed. She's vulnerable, and just like, oh, poor girl. Like
He's talking about Bigby as well. Like.
yeah, and Bigby is obviously vulnerable, but obviously she won't remember that.
Yeah.
Or does she? Mm.
No, probably not.
Be interesting if she does, but it probably won't happen.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the twist with the Greenleaf tree?
So
Wow.
yeah, like you go to Greenleaf and then there's the kid there. I thought that was quite funny.
I immediately clocked onto that. I don't know.
Why
About
did you?
I clocked onto it. I was just like, this is Fabletown. Like anything's possible. I thought this is the old granny.
Yeah, I wasn't really like, 'cause you have all the options to be kind of like nice to the kid and all that, and I just didn't take them because
I wanted to be nice, but then I was just like, in this game, I will not be nice to kids. I will be suspicious as hell. Apart from TJ, because TJ is absolutely lovely and voice actress. Hello, Clementine. Not gonna be mean.
well, I was just fed up with like being soft to kids like at that point because like Snow is really like don't do that, and I'm like, oh, shut up.
To everyone.
Out of curiosity, do you guys know who voices the kid?
No, who voices the kid?
Enlighten us.
It's Laura Bailey.
Ah.
Really?
Yes.
Fanatic, I'm loving this. Carry on, Carly. I'm gonna actually spewing out tonight.
Doesn't Laura Bailey also voice her in Grown Up form?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That had less of an impact, didn't it?
Well, she is a very talented voice actress.
So, yeah, we have the tree. What did we do?
So what did you do? Did you burn the tree or didn't you burn
I burned the bloody tree.
Wow. We're shocked again. This is shocking behavior from me.
I didn't burn the tree. I offered Greenleaf a job working on the 13th floor.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if you let your trigger happy out once in a while and really explore your choices, you will be open to a lot of things that happen.
Like I say, I'm going to get it for the Vita when it comes to the Vita, and I'm going to do everything mostly opposite.
That's not really the point I'm trying to make.
Yes, but I am going to see the different outcomes. There is that point.
That's not really my point. My point is just take a step back from the trigger happy and really explore the decisions.
But I kind of want to move on to the next point, which could be a slight game changer for some people, obviously, because the percentages between this next decision were pretty close, weren't they, Joe?
They were pretty slim, yeah.
Did you kill Tweedledum?
I didn't kill Tweedledum.
Believe it or not, I didn't kill him either.
Didn't kill
Okay,
Tweedledum.
now that is surprising.
That's a shocker, isn't it?
I don't know.
I wish I had.
this point,
That's
like
probably one of the few decisions I actually regretted. I was like, no, I wish I'd killed him.
at this point, like obviously before I said like I didn't like them. At this point, they were kind of going to be a guilty pleasure of mine. You know, like their little evil little faces. I'm just like, I actually want to see more of them now at this point.
No, I would have been happy to be rid of them, but I just thought if I didn't kill him, then maybe they'd like screw off and run away.
Exactly.
Just- And it
This was also the
introduced us
first
to-
appearance of a very interesting character, Bloody Mary.
I was going to say it was the first appearance of multiple characters: Swinehart, Flycatcher.
Oh,
But yeah,
Bloody Mary though, seriously.
Bloody Mary was.
That was the defining moment of that episode. It really
I think I remember talking to you or one of you two directly afterwards and just saying, "Jesus Christ, that character."
It was me. It was
I was-
actually me, and I remember saying like, "I'm like, you've just said everything to say words out of my mouth."
I was just like, "Oh my God, this character! What the hell?"
Made me fucking shivers after I had to stop for about 10 minutes after playing it. I was just like, God, she's actually really good. Whoever voices her,
Yeah,
like, wow, she's good.
she was. Oh, that was frightening.
It was brilliant.
She is called Bloody Mary for a reason.
I know, but
Well,
like
I didn't expect that. Like, it was
the way
like,
her character was done was absolutely brilliant.
it was,
Yes,
it was
very much so.
And the fact is, like, she may have been terrifying then, but obviously, as we will discuss, you know, she's even more terrifying in the last episode where she shows her true form.
Yeah, well, for actually, now you bring that up, it brings up a point I meant to say was something I loved seeing throughout the entire game was Big B going more and more, like, more and more wolf, I think.
Yes, yeah.
In the very first episode, the most wolf you go, I think, is when you're fighting at the end of the episode, and your eyes kind of go yellow, and that's about it. And then
An eventual transformation, and it's growing and growing and growing the more that you progress with the story.
exactly, and then in that episode, you get kind of really big,
Yeah.
and like yeah, by this, I mean, to me, I think nothing can stop. He's gone this big, he's lost control, but nothing can stop him. And then
And then you think you're unstoppable, and you're not.
and then he's stopped.
And that's why I said earlier, this is probably one of my most favorite episodes because obviously it's a huge turning point by now. It's like, well, oh God, it's like Bigby's he could die, you know.
Yeah,
Or he is seriously injured, as you obviously see in episode 4. You see the aftermath of that.
Yeah, it was kind of it was frightening. I mean, she was a frightening influence then, and all she was doing was standing there. And
It's like, imagine what she will do, like, when she's just...
that's it. And I mean, after that, you kind of, you know that there's going to be a showdown at some point, and you're like, oh, Jesus, that's going to be one hell of a showdown.
It's a shame it didn't happen until the last episode, but...
Oh, well.
It's not a shame. It's better that it happens in the last episode.
You know, I'm saying it's a shame you have to wait for that because it's something you really, really want
Well,
to...
I mean, you see it for the first time at the end of the 3rd episode, so you only have to wait a whole episode to have that showdown.
It's a shame because the 4th episode is probably one of the shorter ones, but I still think it's one of the best episodes because it's kind of building the paranoia from the last episode.
Yeah. So moving to that episode.
In sheep's clothing.
Yeah, that's right.
A very appropriate name.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
kind of a short one, wasn't it? I mean, I was a little bit disappointed.
An hour and a half, I clocked.
I was a little bit disappointed because it didn't last very long, but I mean, at the same time, I was kind of like, well, it does set up.
That's the only negative thing I have to say about that, and obviously you can see my review on the site about that. But
It does set up the last episode perfectly. So
it's the tension. It just builds and builds and builds, and then you just get too excited. I know I did.
yeah, I was very excited. By the end of the episode, I was so ready. So what happens in that episode? I think you get the option. Yeah, that's right. You get the option to send Colin to the farm or to to
Oh, I couldn't send him to the farm. I'd grown to love him by then.
I didn't send him to the farm either. I
But
think
no,
I
he's my
will
friend.
next time though.
He's our bro. We can't do that.
Yeah. No, I think it's you've got to send him to the farm because otherwise you're just setting this precedent that people can just break rules, and
Hmm.
that's what you're going against.
Oh my god, that if you read the comics, that's gonna be really interesting what you just said.
Hmm.
Well, I don't. So
If you should, that really, really good.
yeah, I may well do. I mean, this is definitely convinced me that the stories, the stories have a lot of potential, and that I would definitely enjoy them. So and that might well be something I'll be doing after my birthday, like getting some of the comics.
It's an interesting episode because obviously I think really for the very, very first time we are seeing how vulnerable Bigby is, and I find that exciting just because it's the penultimate episode as well. So it's like you think, well, what's his state of mind going to be like for the finale?
Yeah.
It decides everything. The finale, obviously, as we all know.
So you have a bit of a talk with Narissa in this one as well.
So
She
that's
kind
a,
of
oh, that's one of my favorite scenes from the episode. Did,
yeah.
did you try to move the ribbon?
No, it didn't.
No, I didn't either.
Kind of left it be.
I looked at it and I was just like, no, something. I thought something bad will happen if I try
Yeah.
to move that.
Like if
Nope, backing off.
if you could just remove the ribbon, then she would have done it before anyway. So
Hmm.
yeah, no, I didn't try.
It's an interesting episode, and I love the thing
You
I
keep
love the
saying
most.
that.
Yeah, I know, but the thing I love the most about that is when Snow walks in, and I think that's the first time we get a glimpse of Snow. How Snow could probably feel about Bigby. She looks like she thinks something's going on.
Yeah, I agree. That's the idea I got from when
That
she.
was like jealousy. It's like I was like, ooh, like you're not the only woman in Bigby's life, eh?
Like, she was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "I'm just talking to her."
It's like, yeah, I'm sure you're talking.
Definitely. Yeah, no, I got that idea from that as well. So you didn't try to remove the ribbon.
Absolutely didn't.
think most people
feeling
didn't.
about it, and I was
Most
right.
people didn't do that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm glad. Like nearly 2/3 of players didn't remove it. Well,
Yeah.
at least try to remove it anyway.
So where did you go first?
Well, I went to the Lucky Pawn first. Probably in the minority there. I just thought there was something really dodgy about that.
I went to the cart above.
Mhm.
Dodgy.
Very interesting.
I went to the cart above, spoke to the butcher, found the secret room out back, but nobody was there. And when nobody was there, I kind of thought,
Damn it! Another secret room. Like, come on.
yeah, exactly. I was like,
It's the first thing.
On a mystery video game, it has secret rooms.
As
It's
a
a shock.
detective, like secret rooms, yeah, you gotta look for it straight away. It reveals everything, and obviously it does reveal everything as we see.
well, this is when you start to realize that like the Crooked Man has fingers in all the pies.
The story starts to get bigger than you could have possibly imagined.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's like,
And then,
yeah, this guy, you think you're in charge of the town, well, from a criminal perspective.
yeah,
But it's actually this guy. He's actually playing you.
yeah,
Yeah.
being played from the beginning.
That actually scares you. It scares me anyway. It's like, whoa, how powerful is this guy?
Yeah, it was a bit crazy.
It was very crazy.
So you go to Lucky Pawn, you see Jersey Devil.
Oh, Jersey Devil.
Yes.
Jersey Devil. I don't think he got enough. I think he could have done with a bit more screen time because I don't think we really saw that much of him.
I didn't like him at all.
I didn't like him, but I didn't like. I was kind of indifferent towards him. I just like, yeah, I don't care about you. I don't know. I'm somewhere in between.
I think I wanted to kill him more than I wanted to kill the Tweedles. I was just
Oh,
like,
yeah, definitely.
I just want to get rid of him.
For me, it just seemed like he was just there. He didn't really make an impact.
Yeah, he just kind of showed up.
Wasn't,
Like,
I know probably because it's the fourth episode already, but
yeah, but I mean, if you want,
Mary showed up at the end of the third episode and she left an impact. So
oh, she left a big impact though. I mean, she was kind of leading the Tweedles, and
yeah,
you're like, oh wow.
just I
Jersey
didn't.
Devil was just kind of there.
He's just there. It's just like, yeah, I don't really care about you. So,
Yeah.
next decision.
Next decision, which
We're back at the office after we've done the investigations, and there's Toad.
oh, that's right. Yeah, you're like Snow's talking to Toad, talking to Bluebeard, and then you go and talk to Toad, and
I did not send him. I didn't send him.
oh, I did. I was
I gave
basically
him
just
money.
like, look, you don't get a free pass.
What, you sent him?
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
oh.
You don't get a free pass. This is happening like
You know
all the
what's
time.
sad? I really hoped that he would get his glamour, but as we obviously see, it doesn't make a difference. What decision you make? That's quite a sad thing about this game. Like, yeah, you'll think, oh, I made a difference, and then some of the decisions, like, it doesn't even matter. Like
No.
later on, it's really surprising.
Yeah, I think that just goes to show that Bigby's just not in control of everyone's lives.
Yeah, he's only the sheriff at the end of the day. He can only do what he can do, and then, yeah.
But no, I basically just said, no, if you haven't got the money, then you have to go to the farm. Those are the rules.
I just wanted to be a mate, and I just wanted to see him in it longer. I thought if I send him to the farm now, I thought I won't see him again. I would love to see one more episode.
Nah, he was a knob.
Oh, he's a knob. He's a lovable knob. But I love the fact that he got the money and then he was gloating walking past Snow.
Oh, did he?
And Snow's like, why is he like that?
Yeah, because Snow
like,
tells you to break the news to him. Doesn't
It was just so smug. And then the way she said it, though, I was like, maybe I should have sent him to the farm. I don't know. Maybe I made a mistake. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. No, I instantly I knew I'd done the right thing there.
But we did eventually. We got past that, and then we eventually found out how to find the Crooked Man.
Yeah, with the moving door.
Yeah. With the mirror. Didn't we find the piece of the mirror?
That's it. Yeah, you.
Mirror back, and then it's finally able to find the Crooked Man. And
one thing before we move to then.
yeah.
The final time you see the woodsman, Woody, is at the Lucky Pond. Because he doesn't show up in the 5th episode at all.
Yeah, I found it really odd, but
I
suppose with everything that was going on, I think it would be hard to fit him in.
Yeah, I feel like he didn't really have a major place there.
How were you with him?
Oh, he was like a bro.
Yeah, we were like bros as well. We were just like it's going back to when I was saying like they kind of have this silent mutual respect for each other.
Yeah,
kind of like that. It's like just sort of stood there like bros. It's just
he
like
helped me beat the Jersey Devil up, and then we kind of went our
yeah,
separate
he did
ways.
help me. I was like, yay, let's work together. But then obviously it's like, no, they're mortal enemies. They're gonna fight.
Did you give him a smoke outside the?
Absolutely. He deserved it after covering my ass.
Absolutely. So, but moving very quickly now. The Crooked Man. So you find his door.
I will.
Go through the door, and then Tim's there,
Oh, Tim.
and he takes you up to the office. Like, how did you deal with walking up to the office? Because you
I
kind of
really didn't want him to. I really wanted to go myself, but out of respect for him and his wishes, because he seemed genuine, and obviously Tim was genuine. I just let him bring me there.
yeah. So I did the same thing.
I just couldn't turn around and have the heart to tell him, no, I don't want you to take me there. I just like, well, we might as well. He's expecting us. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So when you walked in, what did you do as the episode ended?
I went. I was like, wait.
What did you choose to do? Did you like take a seat? Did you try to arrest him?
I was like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? I'm like, and then I didn't arrest him. I actually lit a cigarette.
Yep.
And then it went to black. I didn't try to arrest him. I was
Same.
just like,
I think everyone.
I thought, let's take this let's take this slow. Let's get the full story here, because there's something more going on here.
Yeah, I think, especially when I saw everyone in the room, it was just like, wow, this is all kind of like coming together now, isn't it?
It's bigger than you think when you see everyone in that room.
Especially Vivian. I was just like, why is Vivian there?
Yeah, that's the one thing
And Georgie to a degree as well. I didn't think Georgie was that like deep in it, and I definitely didn't think Vivian was that deep in it. Like, obviously, Jersey Devil and the Tweedles didn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, like everyone except Vivian, I expected like to be involved, but Vivian, it just didn't make sense. But obviously, it does all come out in the final finale as we expect. So, yeah, I just lit a cigarette and just went to black.
What did you think, Carly?
Well, especially with the ending, because that is where it sets up all the conspiracy, the actual conspiracy, especially Vianney and Jordy, what they're actually involved with. And I was like, oh, that's where it turns around. So it was a really great way to end the episode.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, that brings us all the way up to this week.
Oh, yeah. I was ready to say goodbye. I really wasn't, and I'm still not saying goodbye.
It doesn't have to be goodbye if they do season 2.
No, but I meant like until the gap between now and season 2. That's what I mean.
I think I'm going to fill that gap of comics.
I'm just gonna feel really lonely.
And The Walking Dead.
They haven't actually released any more of Walking Dead. I hope they do release dates that will fill the void, and obviously Game of Thrones, but it's still going to be a massive void.
And also the Borderlands game.
Oh yeah, I always said if it gets a good reception, I've not played Borderlands, but if it gets a good reception, I'll play it.
Yeah.
Which I expect it will. It's Telltale. Hello.
Yeah, I mean, Telltale. That's absolutely brilliant. So, episode 5.
Cry-Wolf. Oh god.
Big one.
The Seals again.
I give it a perfect score. I will give it a perfect score. It did not. There was nothing wrong with it at all. It was perfect. Brilliant finale. Anyone else want to say?
I mean, no. It was a fantastic finale. I mean, you have a bit of a chat with him at the beginning. The Crooked Man just came across perfectly. I mean, he was so hospitable, and it was just like, it was exactly what I expected. It was exactly what I expected.
The creepy, never mind the fact about his eye, but the way he spoke and how nice he was. I'm just like, this is getting creepy.
Yeah, but I mean, that's exactly how I expected him to be, and he just came across perfectly.
I just did not like it, but I'm just like, I don't like it, but I'm going to be very suspicious.
Yeah. No,
it's
I am.
Like you've got to decide what justice is at this point. Like, who's going to get it? Who do we look at now to further the investigation?
Yeah.
Like, there's a Cookie Man, but everyone else is involved, so it kind of throws a spanner in the works.
Yeah, and it also feels a little bit like, the entire town is against you.
Oh yeah, and it kind of feels like you're running out of time at this point. The trail's like going to go cold if you don't find anything here. It's like, that's it. It'll be game over.
Oh yeah, exactly. You mean you need to do something needs to happen now, kind of thing. This is the showdown.
This is it. This is the season finale.
Yeah. So, had a conversation, and then there was a fight.
Kind of escalates.
Right?
Kind of escalates.
So you chase him out through the portal, and
who did you chase? Like, out of the 2 cars?
I chased Georgie because I didn't really know the other one was the Crooked Man.
Yeah, I did as well, but I kind of knew it was Georgie's car.
Yeah.
Maybe you might have had a lucky guess there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, next time I'm definitely excited to see what happens next time. I mean, it might not even change that much.
So you're gonna try the Crooked Man next time?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll be excited to see what happens there.
But the fact I went after Georgie because Vivian was with him, and obviously from the last episode, you're wondering why on earth Vivian is there and involved in it, and it's like, look, it's got to be more than the Crooked Man. There's something going on with Georgie Porgy and Vivian
Yeah.
that you're not
Well, to
understanding.
be honest, at that point, I was just like, well, Vivian is obviously very, very closely linked with Georgie. I mean, you could see her helping him out, like when he's injured through the portal.
Oh yeah,
You're just like, oh well, she's just looking out for him the same way like Bigby and Snow look out for each other. So,
but obviously we find out it's more than it's a lot more than that.
absolutely. So when you got to the Puddin' and Pie, how did you kind of handle that confrontation with those two?
I was a bit annoyed. Well, I thought I'll go for annoyed, I think, but at the end I was like seeing like Georgie was dying, so I kind of took a sympathetic but kind of annoyed take.
Yeah. See, I was just
I was kind of hoping he wouldn't die, but because he's such a good character. But then I don't think he would have served any more purpose if he had.
Yeah, I was hoping he wouldn't die. I mean, I didn't want to kill him because it was very clear that, you know, he had done it, but it was the Crooked Man's doing, if that makes sense.
Did you kill him, put him out of his misery?
I put him out of his misery.
Oh, yeah,
I let him and Vivian have a conversation.
Yeah.
Vivian, unfortunately, killed herself during that conversation.
Yes, she killed herself and mine too.
And then I put George out of his misery because he was very, very upset after that happened.
He was distraught after Vivian, and I think I was quite distraught actually. I was like, I didn't think she'd do it, but
I was absolutely distraught.
I think she'd do it, but I just, when she said like, I want to decide my own fate, she's like, well, actually, yeah, it is your life. It's like, just like anyone else, let her take control.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a
what she does, obviously, it's all with the ribbons and the connected. It obviously has a huge impact towards the end.
Oh, massive impact.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Didn't see that one coming at all. I mean, that came out of nowhere.
Good. What do you think so far, Carly?
Of the episode.
Yeah, from what we've gone through so far.
It was great the way it started. That when Vivian died, that was probably to me the second best moment of the episode because it was so emotional. It was so great. The way her final speech before she kills herself, like she's taking control of her life and all the shit she's been through. It's really, really sad. It gets to you.
It gets to you, but it's very admirable. Very admirable.
Yeah, it definitely hit hard.
It sets off the seeds for all the other little events to happen. Like, without Vivian's death, you know, nothing else after her death would have happened.
Yeah.
Everything. Mostly everything, I'd say.
So, how exciting was the fight at the Metalworks?
God, Bigby versus Bloody Mary in her true form.
That true form was the most frightening thing.
And Bigby it's like we have been seeing him build up as a wolf, but finally you see him in every form, and then you finally see the big one.
You see the huff and puff.
Yes.
That was absolutely fantastic.
This is the moment you've been waiting for all season, and I'm just like, yes, go, let's kill her.
She shot him last time, and this time he's like, nope, not having any of that.
I am gonna take you down, you bitch.
However, had she not stalled, she would have killed him.
Yeah, that is a good thing. That's a good thing, actually. It's a good point. I think she was stalling to torment him even further, but obviously at the end of the day, doing that obviously cost her life.
As we found out also in Game of Thrones recently, the stalling in stories like this is not gonna end well for you.
I don't know so much if she was stalling, because I think her whole thing in the first place was to stall, because she didn't expect to kill him, because she didn't have the gun. She didn't have any silver on her. So while she was wounding him, she was never ever doing any permanent damage. So I don't know. I'm not totally convinced that she's dead either, because there was no.
Remember, if their stories are famous enough, they will survive, even though they die.
To be fair,
that's the thing.
I wouldn't be surprised if Bloody Mary was still alive.
Her death
Remember,
was not like
Because she's so popular. She was so popular when she first appeared, and she's still popular.
the final
well, her
version of
story is now famous, so she's gonna survive.
the final version of her shattered just like the rest of them, and it didn't look any different either. And there was no dialogue from her. There was no indication that like he'd killed her. He just that at some point a lot of like Bloody Mary clones attacked him, and then they all died. You don't know whether she was there.
That was so scary. That I think that was obviously the most terrifying fight I've ever done in the season.
It was terrifying.
They kept
Those
coming
guys
at
freaked
you
out.
and killing you with hitting you with glass, and it's like, oh my god, how's he
Even
gonna
when
get out of this one? You thought the first encounter was bad. You were wrong.
Even like when the quick time events were going right, you were still getting like jabbed by the glass and stuff.
Exactly. You were still getting pummeled with glass.
Yeah, so that was creepy. So after that happened, you went and confront the Crooked Man.
Oh yes.
How'd that go down?
Well, I can imagine at this point, me and Bigby, we were pissed off. But
You and him.
me and him, we were pissed off, but we had to bring him in.
You had to bring him in.
I don't know why I talked myself into this, but we did agree to his terms.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I don't know why. Even after everything he'd done, I felt like he was still being honourable.
But he was just being. He has a silver tongue. I felt like he was just trying to word his way out of it. I knew I couldn't kill him on the spot. He had to bring back.
He's not physically strong, so he can't actually fight. His talent is that he can manipulate people using his words.
Like Tyrion, good with his mouth.
Yeah, and you were manipulated, Amy. You let him do that. No,
Oh yeah.
I told him straight out I was taking him back. Like,
Oh, I told him he was coming straight back.
yeah, but there was no way he was going to be killed there mostly because you had to have a trial, one way or another. I felt like that's where it's going to come down to. He's going to be manipulated at the trial.
Yeah,
As
that's
opposed to the other way
where it
around.
all goes down.
Yep. And
We get to the trial, obviously.
because I thought Narissa and maybe some other people from the Pudding Empire would be at trial, and I thought, well, since that thing with Vivian just happened, we're golden. Like we shouldn't have any problem here whatsoever. more of a problem than I thought. But yeah, I also thought that making sure that we didn't burn Greenleaf's tree and like having her offered a job. I thought, well, we got her to back us up as well.
He chose to heart me with that, with burning her tree. But throughout the trial, no matter how many things he was saying, I did eventually get the crowd to win. I won the crowd over.
Yeah, the crowd definitely were won over. I mean, Greenleaf was definitely a lot more on my side than I thought she would be, and which was good. And then obviously Gren and Holly were all for it. Beauty and the Beast kept changing sides.
I know, it's an interesting dynamic. It's like, oh, he deserves to suffer, but wait, and then the Cookie Man's like, yeah, but they're the ones who are forgetting you. I'm not forgetting it. It's like, oh my god, it was like going backwards and forwards. Like, who's the bad guy here?
I was like, come on, guys.
But it was a very good dynamic. It was a good scene. I was on the edge of my seat with that, and I was looking at the choices to say, and I'm just like, oh god, what do I say?
Throughout the whole conversation,
I almost panicked and just pressed anything.
I was definitely fighting with the idea of just like ripping his head off right there and then, because otherwise he would manipulate people too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your final decision. What should you do with him?
You know what I did.
I know what you did.
I ripped his fucking head off. I was so annoyed with him, but then he didn't really look out for me because everyone was afraid of me. And the aftermath.
Big surprise, right? That's shocking.
What did you do, Joe? Oh, I was annoyed with him.
Well, I mean,
done.
I said.
Right. Sorry, go on.
I said we should put it to a vote. What we do with him.
I did too, but then obviously it came back. It came back to both of us, didn't it?
Yeah, the crowd decided that we should take the decision. So before I was able to make the decision, he grabbed me and
Yeah, same here.
and then I ended up throwing him down the witching well.
I ripped his head off.
I threw him down the witching well.
To me, the third option is the best one, when he gets turned into a bird and put in a cage.
Oh, so when you play through, are you going to do that? Lock him up?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's hilarious. There's such a menacing villain gets it thrown into this ridiculous fate. That to me, that's the best end for him.
Yeah, to me it was there was only one option from the beginning, and it was throw down the witching well. That is the punishment that all the fables have to have. He doesn't get a special one. That's where he's going.
Yeah.
And if someone else commits a crime next week, like that's deserving of it, that's exactly where they're going.
You're taking this sheriff position full time here.
It's yeah, well, you know.
Well, I really relished in the moment of ripping his head off, but the aftermath, it made me kind of regret doing it. But I really enjoyed it in the moment.
He had to be made an example of, and that was the example. Like, you do something like this, if you're not glamoured, you go to the farm. You got to make an example there. If you commit murder, you're going down the witching well. Simples.
You're a diplomatic sheriff, you know that.
I'm very diplomatic.
I'm a very
taking this
valid
job seriously. The people elected me.
trigger happy one.
Well, I mean, that's why. Yeah. Well. So, the ending. Right. This is.
This is the talking part I've waited to hear.
This is the talking point that we're waiting until the end of the podcast for. But
Oh yes, we can finally talk about it.
So Nerissa reveals to you that, you know, she orchestrated a lot of it. She planted the body in front of you. She told lies at the trial to make sure he went down. What at this point, what were you thinking of Nerissa?
I was thinking that was very, very clever.
Yeah.
I would never have thought she'd orchestrated all this. She started it all off.
Yeah.
It's like, I was shocked, but I was pretty pleasantly surprised. It's like, I couldn't believe it be her who did it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, who did it, but who like set it all in motion. Very surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I felt the same way. I was just like, oh damn, like this is all you. And then I'm kind of very sympathetic, and I was just like, well, you did what had to be done, as opposed to, you know, you committed a crime.
Absolutely the same here.
But I mean, that's what needed to be done to achieve normality. So, I mean, it's probably for the best.
It's kind of like what Bigby would probably be willing to do anything as well for normality. So I think she's kind of like the same, but with different methods.
Absolutely. Okay. So what did you think? What's your theory? About you know what?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Charlie, feel free to.
Well, it's a difficult one. I mean, we're not gonna sugarcoat this because I've already put in the title of the video that this is spoilers, and this is where we are really gonna get to the middle of this mystery.
Spoiler alert. I
am going to agree with a point that you actually mentioned when I talked to you straight away after I finished it. I was like, Joe, what? I'm going to agree with a point you made that she could be Faith glamoured.
Yeah. I mean, that is my main theory. And I think a lot of people agree with this as well. That she is Faith. And you know, you never did meet anyone called Nerissa. There may have been the first body you found could well be that of Nerissa's. But
because if this theory is true, this could mean that she's glamouring herself to protect herself from an enemy that's not the Crooked Man. That could be somebody higher up or someone entirely different, and that could set off the wheels of motion for the second season.
Yeah. So I mean, that was.
Bigger. There's definitely something bigger out there than the Crooked Man. I've got that feeling.
Hello, that's a comic.
Shut up.
We're not talking about the comic. We're talking about the game.
No, but she said there's obviously something bigger. But of course, there's something bigger. What do you think the comics are about?
Oh, come on, just stop, because like some of us haven't read the comics. Some of
No,
us,
I mean there's obviously gonna happen more things are gonna happen.
yeah, obviously, but we're not in the comic world. We're in the pre-comic world.
What
You're
I
talking
mean is
about herself.
this is obviously not the end of the story and stuff like that. That's what I
Obviously.
mean. Not everything's not anything specific.
Oh no, it's obviously it's not finished. There's a long way to go. Yeah, I mean, I think the
But
second season.
but with the whole Faith and Narita thing, that will make her character even more like the whole thing, the whole thing. Even if she is Narita and not Faith, it's still like wow, you did this whole thing,
Yeah.
and it worked out perfectly. And if she is Faith and not Narita, just like holy fucking shit.
Yeah. Now the reason
But
I believe it's Faith is because Faith's story revolves around this. Faith's story revolves around escaping from in disguise, even escaping from her life in disguise. I mean, that's what she did in her backstory. She was escaping from her father in the disguise of a donkey. In this, it's made clear with the notes you find at Lawrence's apartment and the notes she writes to him that she's leaving him. She doesn't want a life with him anymore.
Yeah,
And
so if he played, whether he lives or dies will probably a big impact anyway for the second.
I mean, he's already let her go by the time like the second or third episodes come in. Like he's let her go, but because he knew she was leaving him anyway before she died.
He'll be off screen then, I suppose, for the remainder. He will probably won't be mentioned again, maybe in passing. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but I don't think if there's a season 2 to this, to the Wolf Among Us, it's not going to have anything. It's not going to clear up any of these details. It's going to be something completely different.
We're going to get more questions than answers.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're going for. They don't want to give you a clear answer. They want you to think.
This is what Telltale's like, and what any game should be like, or any film, etc., should be like. They should be getting you to ask and get these theories going because it keeps it going, it keeps it alive, even
Absolutely.
after it's finished. Yeah.
So that's another one of the main reasons I feel like it is Faith, or that at the very least, after Faith's body is found, Faith is still alive. Is one of the things you can do while you're investigating in the first episode is ask the mirror, like talk to the mirror, and you can ask, once you found out who she is, you can ask the mirror about her father, about her, and about Prince Lawrence. Obviously, if you ask about Prince Lawrence, it shows you him in his apartment, in his house, half dead, and that's what gives you the lead to go there. If you ask about her father, it shows you part of his dead skeleton, he's long dead.
Yeah.
Her father's been and gone. If you ask about her, the mirror tells you there's magic stopping him from showing you that.
Yeah.
That these lips are sealed.
Really suspicious.
He says these lips are sealed, indicating that she has still got the ribbon around her neck.
God. You know what? I didn't really think much of. I thought a lot about it in the first episode, and then by the time we were getting on with the story from the second, I didn't really think about it. But now that you've actually mentioned it,
well, because after that, the next time you hear these lips are sealed is in the second or third episode, and that's when you realize what it is. But you forget about what happened.
About the mirror and the magic.
The mirror can't even show you Faith's body because of the ribbon, but the ribbon is found with her when she's dead. And it's obviously not attached to her anymore.
So it must
still be attached to her. And she must still be alive, because the magic is still working on her. Yeah. So that's one theory. A theory indicating that Faith isn't alive, or at least isn't the one that you meet at the beginning of the game, is that the woodsman, she doesn't recognize the woodsman. The argument that kicks off their fight is to do with her not recognizing him. And if you look in her book, in the second episode, she's had previous encounters with him.
You've really she thought this, haven't you?
Yeah. I mean,
it's all very ambiguous.
It's very ambiguous.
I like it.
There's multiple things saying different things, so it's really hard to say.
Trying to throw you off.
It's exactly. So the only way that theory works is if Nerissa is glamoured as Faith at the beginning, and then for the rest of the game, Faith is glamoured as Nerissa. It's just really confusing.
That's confusing, but we will get answers, but I don't think it'll be for a very long time. Not until at least the end of season.
I don't think we're ever going to get answers on this.
We won't.
I think this is all up for grabs. Unless this second theory is true.
Go on, let's hear it.
The second theory is that the entire time, this is being orchestrated by not Nerissa, not Faith, but Little Red Riding Hood.
Ooh.
It's mentioned very early on that Little Red Riding Hood is missing and nobody's done anything about it. So there's a fable here that's completely unaccounted for. You don't ever meet this fable. You know she was a resident here and then she's just suddenly gone. The second thing backing this up is that when you meet Faith for the first time, Bigby says that he feels like he's met her before.
Yeah.
Which obviously he's got a very long history with Little Red Riding Hood.
And that obviously ties into, the things that they say at the end with Nerissa.
Yeah, absolutely.
He thinks back. I feel like I've known you before, and
yeah,
I can't get my head around it. I honestly can't.
The other thing is the big bag of glamours. That's the only way that someone could be doing all this is with a big bag of glamours. So that could quite happily be anyone at the end. That could be any person that's still alive at the end.
I don't mind fucking with Bigby's heads. It's fucked with all that heads.
Exactly. God. So there's a lot of information swirling about, and there's definitely no clear answer as to what's going on.
This season finale has got me more excited than the Walking Dead season 1 I tell you now. It really has.
It definitely makes you think, doesn't it?
There's a lot more mystery going on. There's a lot more going on than you think.
There has been a mystery since the first episode, and only in the last episode as a really big one.
There's the mystery of the murders, but then it's kind of shielding the true mystery. So
yeah, the mystery is who is this person?
Yeah, it's like, no, it's not the murders. It's more than the murders.
Is Faith dead? Is Nerissa dead?
Who's Nerissa, really? Like, is Nerissa real? Is she someone else? It's all very ambiguous, and I like that. I like they're going to keep us talking until the second season.
But I think they definitely wanted us to think that it was Faith, because one of the major lines.
They're going to throw us off. They're going to throw us off.
One of the major lines they mention at the end, like, when Bigby's kind of like sort of realizing that her and Nerissa, Faith and Nerissa are like very similar.
You went after her, didn't you?
One of the lines, yeah, absolutely. One of the lines that fits himself in there is one from Buffkin saying, "Used to hide her beauty to escape the kingdom."
Yes.
And this is as she's leaving.
Glamour. There you go. Hide equals glamour.
Yeah.
Appears someone else.
So, I mean, there's a lot of information there.
What do you think about this, Alvis Carl? You're being a bit quiet.
Well, if you're wondering, no, there's no answer about this in the comics.
Try to look at it away from the comics if you can.
Did you not hear what I just said? I said there's not an answer about it in the comics.
Yes,
yeah, and we're asking what you think of it from the game.
From the game perspective.
I'm just answering. It's not an answer. It's not like I know what the answer to this is. So what I mean is that I'm left in the same boat as you guys.
But we're not asking what the answer is. We're asking what you think about it.
I'm just clarifying, for starters, that I don't have an answer to this. In case you were wondering, that I'm in the same boat as you guys, and I like to think that she is in fact Faith.
That's what we're asking. Like, what kind of theories do you have?
But you didn't let me finish.
Go on.
Well, I think she's actually Faith. That's the theory that I went with, that she is in fact Faith.
Okay.
You guys said Jill basically said the best regarding the theory, so I don't really know what else to add to it.
Could be something else. Because I think it could possibly be something else, but I can't exactly think what else it could be right now on top of my head.
Yeah.
Yes, Joe already explained the theories very well.
Yeah, he did. You've really thought about this, haven't you?
Yeah, I've kind of been racking my brain about it since I played the episode. and it's why I've been playing more of it to try and see if I can pick up on more of these clues.
Yeah, because there's probably little clues like somewhere like left in like unimportant parts of the episodes. I think
Yeah.
they've done it deliberately.
Yeah, so it's definitely hard to say.
It's going to be. I'm going to be racking my brains about this for months until.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, if I find any more information, I'll be telling you guys as soon as possible.
Honestly, like when I first watched it and I watched it over, and I'm just like, it's a big mind fuck. It honestly is. It's I don't know. It's the biggest mind fuck since Inception. I don't know.
It's a total mindfuck. And with that mindfuck, I think we're going to wrap up because
because my head might explode if I think about this anymore.
I mean, I think the thing to go away with here is that we are definitely incredibly excited to see them do more with this.
We're frustrated, but we're very excited.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's probably the best thing I've played this year, right next to Transistor. But I mean, this is a lot more story heavy, and it's definitely stayed with me longer.
It's just, I mean, it's quite sad, but it's had. I think now we've played through the whole season. I think it's had more of an impact on me than The Walking Dead probably did. Only by a tiny fraction, I'd say. But
yeah, but you have to remember The Walking Dead's not over yet.
No, I'm talking about comparing the first seasons, Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us. Like the Wolf Among Us has probably had more of an impact than The Walking Dead season 1. But only by a tiny fraction. I mean, they're both well up there.
Probably the mystery that it leaves you with. It forces you to think about it.
It's going to be the mystery, and it is. Most of it, I've got to attribute to that last scene, that last scene, and it makes you think about everything that's happened. And I'm just going to have to replay it, and I'm going to look just like you, Joe.
Replay it until you find some more information.
Yeah, it'll be there somewhere. I guarantee you that. Telltale, why do you do this to us? Why?
Why? Why indeed?
Mm-hmm.
All right, with that then, I think we're going to say goodbye. So thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you in the next time.
Yeah, hopefully we won't be as frustrated. But however, we will be doing the episodes again. Carly will be playing them, and the three of us will be commentating on top. We are all going to come to a mutual decision about the choices.
Punch everyone.
And I kind of hope Carly plays like a dick. I want to see him as a proper dick.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll have that coming up within the next few weeks. We will hopefully try and get that out for you. So yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, this is goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Nos vemos. That's goodbye, by the way.
Really? I thought it was just adios.
Nos vemos. Es lo mismo. It's the same.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say see ya.
See you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.